friends, and happy Wednesday. So it is the day before Thanksgiving for those of you that are here in the United States. And I know of at least one friend that is Canadian that is celebrating our American Thanksgiving with us. So hi Michelle, missed your vlog yesterday. So yeah, the prep work. I haven't had any caffeine yet, can you tell? The prep work has begun. It is just about 8 o'clock. I'm getting ready to go have breakfast with my neighbor first, get a good breakfast in me, and then I'm going to come back and tackle the madness. So, it started. I got more stuff to get out when I get back. First, nourishment. Okay, back from breakfast and starting on recipe number 1. Before I get into my cooking though, I just wanted to give you an update on my grandmother. I'm not impressed with the hospital system that we have here in York. Haven't been. That's why I go to Hershey, Pennsylvania, because I just don't like the hospital and doctors here in York. Anyway, she uses the York facilities. And she called her cardiologist first thing Monday morning, and they can't see her till December 15th. They said basically unless she has another one of these spells, they'll see her in the middle of December. If she has another one, go to the ER. And that's what they told her. So, that's where she's at with that. So we know nothing. We don't know what these severe pains were in the center of her back that occurred when her heart went out of rhythm. I guess they won't know for a while. Sad. And was there something else I wanted to update you on? Can't think off the top of my head. But, okay, so into the cooking. So I've started my cranberry salad. So all I have in here is 2 pounds of fresh cranberries and like 2 3/4 cups of orange juice and water, mostly orange juice and a little bit of water to equal 2 3/4 cups, and about 2 3/4 cups of sugar, and then I use some of the Valencia orange peel as well, and I'm just going to bring that to a boil, and when it starts to boil, my cranberries start to pop, I'm going to turn it down on simmer until all my cranberries are popped. And then I'll be back. In the meantime, I got to go look for a pretty bowl to put this in. Alright, cranberries have all popped. I'm just going to let this cool off now. And as it cools, it's going to start to thicken. And when it is cool, then I'm going to add a good, probably half a cup of amaretto to that. Just a little kick. Because sometimes you just need a little kick to get through the hot. In the meantime, I'm going to start on my upside down apple pecan pie. So in my pie pan, I have a cup of chopped pecans, a half a cup of firmly packed brown sugar, and to that I'm going to add a 1/3 of a cup of melted butter. And spatula. And just stir this around. Stir that up good and just spread it nice and evenly over the bottom of your pie plate. Alright, next step is the pie crust. I'll be back. Alright, now I'm going to cover this with a pie crust. Press it down nice and tight, and then just up the sides of the pan. There's no need to make pretty edges at this point. You just want that packed nice and tight against your pecans. And now I'm going to grab a little bit of flour and sprinkle on there. Hold on. Just sprinkle that with a little bit of flour. Alright, now comes the painstaking process of cutting all my apples. So I'll be back again. Okay, and here I have 7 apples, and obviously I've peeled and I cut them nice and thin. This is how I like my apples sliced for my pie, nice and small. I don't like big chunks. So to my apples, I have added a 1/4 cup of sugar, 2 tablespoons of flour, 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon, and 1/8 teaspoon of nutmeg. So we're just going to give them a stir. Make sure they're well coated. And then they're going right on top of this pie crust. See if I can do it without throwing any on the floor. Alright. I think I did it. Alright, now I gotta get my next pie crust. Hold on. Alright, top crust has gone right over the top. And then you have to figure out a way to make these edges nice. It's a little difficult. That bottom crust being down in there so low. You know how it is when you make an apple pie, because you make your apples nice and high because you know it's going to bake down. So it's not going to be the prettiest crust in the world. However, you're going to be inverting this onto a serving dish when it's done baking. So it's not like these edges have to be all fancy and pretty, because it's going to be upside down when it comes out of the oven. So in the meantime, have your oven preheated to 375 degrees. And we're going to make a few slits in the top of this pie to let your steam out. And that's it. I'm going to put it on a cookie sheet, and it's going in the oven for about 45 minutes. The best part of my baking today is my Christmas music, because right now I am listening to the soundtrack from Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Alright, time to take the first pie out. So again, this is the upside down pecan apple pie. I'm going to put this over here, and we're going to let that cool for about 5 minutes, and then we are going to invert that on the serving platter. So I'll be back in 5. Okay, here goes nothing. Trying not to burn myself or break my plate. Alrighty, perfect. Just gotta scrape the loose bits out of here. Oh my gosh, hot, hot. But you don't want to let it cool too much, or then it starts to stick to this top pan. So that's it. This is your upside down pecan apple pie. And I cannot wait to dig my face into that tomorrow. And this little bite here, this is mine. Okay, the next thing we're going to whip together is a cherry cheesecake. So right now I'm just making my graham cracker crust. So in here I have a cup of graham cracker crumbs, 3 tablespoons of sugar, and to that I'm going to add 3 tablespoons of melted butter. And we're just going to mix that together until all your crumbs are coated. Alright, and then we're going to press that onto the bottom of the springform pan. No need to treat your pan. And then just take your hands, fingers, and just smash that down, nice and tight. And then we're going to pop that into a 325-degree oven for 10 minutes. All right, into the oven. It's Christmas with Dino, Dean Martin. You just can't get any better than the classics. Okay, my crust is out of the oven. Let's get this cheesecake whipped up. So in my KitchenAid, I have 4 blocks of cream cheese, 1 cup of sugar, and 3 tablespoons of flour. I'm going to mix that till it's well blended. And we're going to add our eggs one at a time. Turn it down so I don't splash myself with eggs. Add your eggs one at a time, making sure you mix well after each egg. For you. I'll be back when I'm done putting the egg. Okay, now we're going to add 1 cup of sour cream. You know what, so I don't make a mess, I'm going to do this. Otherwise I'll have it smeared all over everything. And a tablespoon of vanilla. And then just blend that till it's well blended. Okay, so now you're going to pour that into your prepared graham cracker crust. Turn your oven up to 450. And this will be going in the oven for 10 minutes at 450 degrees. And then you're going to turn your heat down to 250 and bake it for an hour. This makes a very thick cheesecake. A copy of the recipe could probably be found on the Philadelphia Cream Cheese website. It's called a Northwest Cheesecake Supreme. And a picture of it has cherries on it. I will add a can of cherry pie filling tomorrow before we serve it. But the cookbook that I'm using is the Philadelphia Cream Cheese Cookbook that I bought back in the 80s. So yeah, that sucker's like 30 years old. And make sure you always lick your spoon, because life's too short not to lick the spoon. Okay, again, 450 degrees for 10 minutes. And 250 degrees for 1 hour. Alright, time to take the cheesecake out. Now I don't do a water bath. I've tried the water baths and my cheesecakes crack, especially this big giant one, no matter if I use a water bath or not. There it is. So this just needs to cool now. on to the apple pie. Guys, I'm wearing out, but I must press on. Okay, apple pie. I make an apple crumb. So I have pie crust, pie plate. This is a really juicy pie, so besides putting it on a cookie sheet, I also line the cookie sheet with foil. Don't say I didn't warn you. In this giant bowl, I have 10 apples. Now, they weren't huge. But with apples, keep in mind, they really do cook down. So you always want to mound an apple pie up. And I'm just tossing them with about, I don't know, about 3/4 of a cup of sugar and a teaspoon of cinnamon that I mixed together. I'm going to put a little pinch of salt in here yet. Well, I'm throwing apples around. And then I put a streusel topping on top instead of the second crust. So my streusel topping was a stick of ice cold butter. A stick of ice cold butter, a cup of flour, and a 1/2 cup of brown sugar. And you can mish that together with a pastry cutter if you have one. I don't have one. I just use my KitchenAid. And since the butter's nice and cold, I put my KitchenAid on like a setting of 4, which is like a medium low on a handheld mixer. And I just whip it up like that, just so you get like pea-sized crumbles. And that's what's going to go on top. Now see if I can do this without making a huge mess. Probably not. I'm going to have apples everywhere, and then we're going to have to pick them up and put them back in the pie. Yep, pretty much. The worst part of this is cutting up all the apples. Okay. So let's put this back together. I use Golden Delicious apples. You can use whatever apples you want. I just like a sweeter apple. But by all means, if you'd rather have a tartar apple, then use it. So I'm going to squish these down a little bit. And then this is my streusel topping. So again, just the flour, butter, and brown sugar all mixed together. And that is going right over the top. And again, I'm going to have to pick some of this up and put it back on the pie because it's going to roll off everywhere. So just as best you can, spread that all over the top of your pie. And this is going into a 400-degree oven for about, I don't know, 45 minutes is probably sufficient because I cut my apples very thin. If you don't cut your apples thin and you like a chunkier apple, then you'll probably have to let it in to closer to an hour. So that's it. Keep your eye on it when it's baking. About halfway through, you may have to cover it with some foil because you don't want your top to get too brown. And of course, lick your fingers because this is the best part. So I'm going to lick my fingers, wash my hands, and then I can turn off the camera. This is one of those days where if you don't have diabetes, you will till the end of the day. If you keep licking the bowl as much as I do. Okay, this one's going in the oven. And here is the apple crumb pie. I'm really wearing out. So, I have 2 pumpkin rolls to do yet. One for us and one for the neighbor. I have the first one in now. I'm not going to film the pumpkin roll only because I've done that for you previously. So just look in my videos if you want to know how to make a pumpkin roll. The video is labeled about making pumpkin roll. So then that's it. And for dinner, if it can't be warmed in the microwave, it's not getting eaten because when I'm done with the pumpkin roll, I'm done. My back hurts, my knee hurts, I'm going to sit the rest of the night. So, happy Thanksgiving to everyone. I am thankful for each and every one of you. This whole YouTube thing is becoming quite fun.
The good news is my new camera is to be delivered on Friday. It's not an expensive one. I can't afford, you know, the amazing cameras some of the professional YouTubers are using. I just got the Canon ELPH, so it was like $229 or something. Again, nothing expensive. I would love to have the Canon G7X, but the wallet says no right now. So anyway, my new camera's on the way, so I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful for all of you. So happy Thanksgiving to everyone here in the United States, and for those of you not in the U.S., if you are celebrating with us, thank you. And I will film my Turkey Day tomorrow, but for right now, I think I'm going to end this video because it's probably long enough. And again, I'm tired, so I will see you all soon. Bye.